Well, hello and good afternoon, everyone. We're out at Eric Evans Oval for this round 15 FQPL clash between the home side Ipswich Knights and the Holland Park Hawks. Rafe Griffin with you in commentary this afternoon. As you can see, the two teams going through their final pre-match rituals, shaking hands with the match officials and their opponents. Let's take you through the two-team lineups for this afternoon. For Ipswich Knights, in goal is Chris Parsons. We'll come back to that later on as to why that is. 2 is Oliver Bond. 3, Nathan Garcia. 4, Lincoln Rule. 6, Iyale Tashaga. 7, Giuliano Macanato. 8, Robbie Baker. 9, Sam Watt. 10, Nahome Waldo. 11, Hayden James, and 17, David Macklott. The substitutes for the Ipswich Knights this afternoon are Leon Nunda, Jamie Cameron, Murray Thistlethwaite, Matt Drummond, and Tom Reynolds, the reserve keeper. For Holland Park, in goal is Duncan Short. 3, Josh Byrne. 5, Ulhion Park. 6, Elliot White. 7, Takuga Shigeyuki. 16 it is Flynn McGahey. 11, Sean McMillan. 12, Carlton Westerdale. 13, Jared Gore. 14, Mikhail Hastings. 15, Chris Anderson. Their substitutes this afternoon are Scott Campbell, Josh DeGroot, Matt Farrington, Dylan Williams, the reserve keeper, and Marek Madell, the leading scorer in the FQPL, on the bench this afternoon. Once again, we'll explain that story as the afternoon progresses. Dan Olsen is the referee for this encounter. It pits the 12th place Ipswich Knights up against the 9th placed Holland Park Hawks. Holland Park have broken away from their pre-match huddle. Ipswich Knights still in theirs. Just breaking away now, and will be underway here on a Sunday afternoon. Cloudy Sunday afternoon here in Ipswich. No doubt by the time we get to the end of encounters around about 5 o'clock, it'll start to be becoming right chilly here in Ipswich. So Dan Olsen, final pre-match checks, and we're underway. Round 15 of the FQPL. From Eric Evans Oval, it's the Ipswich Knights up against Holland Park Hawks. First ball forward for the Knights, and the first touch of the ball for the afternoon for Duncan Short in the Holland Park goal. Ball's been brought back. Must have been an infringement against the Ipswich Knights in that opening phase of the play. This is Waldo. All the way back for the keeper, Chris Parsons. As I said, Chris Parsons in the Ipswich Knights goal this afternoon. That coming after the departure of Declan Murphy, the usual Ipswich Knights custodian. Made the move to South United, where he made his debut last night. South drawing with Southside Eagles 2-2 last night, where Declan Murphy made his debut. So that's forced the change in the goalkeeping role at the Ipswich Knights. The opposite keeper, Short, sending it long. Waiting on the left wing for the Hawks was Shigeyuki, and he's been caught offside. It's that time of the year where silly season begins to happen. Lots of player movement in time for the 30 June deadline, where the transfers stop. So expect to see some more player movement over the coming month or so, or already it's started to begin. Knights in their attacking territory. And the ball back to the Hawks, nodded back for Rule, and now Garcia, Nathan Garcia, playing for the Ipswich Knights in his second game for the club this season. Started the season at Holland Park Hawks, and indeed his father was the coach of Holland Park Hawks at the start of the season, Fernando Garcia. But Joe Fennick has moved into the head coaching role after the departure of Fernando Garcia. Joe, of course, not only a familiar name in football in and around Brisbane, but right throughout the whole state as well, taking on the dual role of the technical director and the senior head coach. This looks to be a long throw here for the Hawks. Directed into the box. Cleared away by the Knights. Drifts over the head of both Waldo and Park. Upended was the Ipswich Knights player. Free kick going their way. Marcanato was the man that was brought down. Rule shaping up over the free kick. Plays it back for Baker. Maclott. And Short collects the ball. So as I said in the opener, Ipswich Knights in 12th place. 2 wins, a draw and 10 losses. Their return so far this season. Winless since the 18th of February. In a 6-0 victory that day against the Wide Bay Buccaneers, and the Ipswich Knights take on the Buccaneers next week up in the Wide Bay area. Looking like a reasonable start to the season for Ipswich Knights. Winning their first 2 of 3 matches. 2 out of their first 3, I should say, but having not recorded a victory since then in almost over 3 months now. Handed away by Hastings. And that won't trouble Short at all. Ipswich Knights with the 12th best attack, 16 goals for this season, and 12th in terms of defence, 42 goals conceded. Sitting in 12th place, as I say. Only team below them, the Wide Bay Buccaneers. Westerdale. Hastings. Good ball is the encouragement given by his teammates. Goal kick for, played out by Parsons to Shager. Played back by Park for the Hawks. It's Anderson on that far side. Hastings. From McGahey. Debut for Holland Park as a substitute in the midweek catch-up game against Mitchelton. That Mitchelton, the Mustangs, collected the 3 points for in a 3-2 victory. Tug of the shirt by Park against Watt. Referee's playing advantage. Backtracking is Bond. Play in Parsons. Just holds up momentarily in the win for Maclott. Westerdale, then it was Shigeyuki. McGahey, as I mentioned before, comes from Olympic, where he mainly played in the under-20 squad. Marcanato, Maclott, Shigeyuki piling on the pressure. Ipswich Knights forced all the way back to the keeper in Parsons. If anything, yeah, you can probably just tell that ball holding up in the air. behind Holland Park's back in this first half from camera right to camera left. There's the 3:13 to Caboolture. Arrives at Bundamba Station to our left. And Marconato evades the offside flag. Nodded away by Baker. Holland Park currently sitting in 9th place on the table. 5 wins, a draw, and 7 losses. Their return so far in 2018. Attack hasn't been an issue for them. 38 goals for this season. Sitting equal third in terms of attack and goals scored. Here's Rule for the Knights. Macklot. Problem for Holland Park has been their defence. McMillan there for the Hawks. 40 goals conceded by the Hawks so far this season, and that puts them 11th in terms of goals conceded, so it really has been their Achilles heel, including 3 occasions there, including the FFA Cup where they conceded 7 goals in 3 consecutive games each. Of course, they do boast the leading goal scorer in the FQPL, Marek Medell, with 23 goals, but as I said, sits on the bench today, and that as virtue of a groin strain that he picked up in the midweek catch-up game against Mitchelton. Was desperately itching to get out there this afternoon. I had a good chat to him prior to the start of this game, but support staff and the physio didn't want to risk further injury, particularly playing 2 games 4 days apart. He's sitting on the bench, so should he be required to be able to come on and help the Holland Park Hawks perhaps in the later stages of this game if they're chasing a result. That midweek game ended a 2-match winning run for the Holland Park Hawks, who prior to that 2-match winning run had lost 6 in a row. Throw in on the far side. Of course, you've got the choice of 2 games this afternoon on the Football Queensland live streams. We're exclusively on YouTube today, no Facebook, so unfortunately not able to interact with you on Facebook in terms of where you might be watching in from and questions, etc. Backup might be Twitter. Here's Bond. If you have got something to say on today's game, you can catch me on Twitter at Rafe Griffin or at FootballQLD, the handle, the hashtag FQPL. You can also join Simon Smale for the NPL women's game that is on Facebook and YouTube between Mudgeeraba and Western Pride. Looks like it's 1-1 there at the moment. Midway through the first half, so maybe plenty of goals in that one. The Hawks get into their attacking area. Westerdale, was it? And diving to the left was Chris Parsons. It was Sean McMillan, actually. He and Carlton Westerdale have similar hairstyles with the shoulder length hair. McMillan's just a little bit more blonder than Carlton Westerdale. Carlton Westerdale, one of the best names going around in local football. Sounds very presidential, doesn't it? He's come to Holland Park after starting the season in the NPL with Redlands, where he played 9 games this year, 2 goals in 4 games since coming to the Hawks for Westerdale, and here he is again up against Macklot. Watt back for Macklot. Flag goes up. Come back down as Holland Park have possession. Bang forward by Westerdale in search of Park. Well, once again, the FQPL threw up all sorts of surprises last night. Westerdale for Hastings. Yeah, results from last night in the FQPL. Peninsula Power continued their dominance. 6-1 winners over Eastern Suburbs in worrying signs for the Tigers. That's consecutive losses to teams that they really need to beat in terms of trying to secure a finals position at the end of the year. As Shigeyuki was dancing his way in the box, and a corner will result for the Hawks. Westerdale over to take this corner on this broadcast side of the Eric Evans Oval. Corner steered in towards the near post. It'll come straight back out for Westerdale. It wasn't the most convincing corner that's ever been taken. Tried to seek redemption the second time round. White was trying to blast through the pack. The player who started here at Ipswich Knights at the start of the season. Another corner for the visitors. Quarter of an hour gone. No score at Eric Evans Oval. Round 15 from the FQPL. No clear-cut chances for either side either. Once again, that corner directed into the near post. It's McMillan and Westerdale combining once more. Across the face of goal. Out to chase it will be James for the Knights. So just continuing with the scores from last night in the FQPL. Wolves went ahead first down at Cornubia Park. It was Logan that ended up grabbing the 3 points and moving into second place on the table in a tight 2-1 victory over Wolves. Mitchelton did it comfortably away from home. They've certainly rebounded from their slow early season, Mitchelton. 5-1 winners last night against the Sunshine Coast Wanderers in that game that featured 2 teams aspiring for the top 4. Handball there against Lincoln Rule of the Ipswich Knights. So free kick for Holland Park. Hastings, Westerdale. Shigeyuki all over this free kick. Which option will it be? 4 in the Ipswich Knights wall. Attempting to provide some confusion here for Chris Parsons. Shigeyuki takes it. Blasted over the bar. No real test for the keeper. Well, South would have thought they were on track for the 3 points last night, leading 2-1 deep into stoppage time. But Southside Eagles salvaged a point in the 8th minute of stoppage time, so that didn't help South's finals aspirations as Westerdale from close range. South and Southside Eagles are 2-2 draw, and I think I can see Southside Eagles coach Roger Hunter on the far side observing the game as the Knights look to launch a counter. Watt. Macklot, one of Roger Hunter's former charges at Southside Eagles. Bond. Macklot tries to bury it between the numerous red-socked legs there. And Roachdale performed another miraculous recovery after scoring an injury time equaliser last week. It was the same last night. They were trailing 4-2 up until the 89th minute. A goal in the 89th minute brought it back to 4-3 against Capella Bar, with the added disadvantage of having Johnny McCain sent off with 5 minutes remaining. But once again, a stoppage time goal for Roachdale, salvaged a point out at John Fredericks Park in a 4-4 draw with Capella Bar. And what I'm hearing was an absolutely amazing game. Good one for the neutral. I'll check on the highlights on the Football Queensland social media channels during the week for that one. He's short with a handle. Throws it out quickly for McGahey. He gives it away cheaply to Bond. Westerdale tracking his run. Bond delivers in. There's 3 Ipswich Knights players waiting to pick up the scraps, but short rises highest. White. Hastings. Good challenge in. Hastings still stronger on the ball though. Sends it over to Bond though. Macklot. Either side. Just at the moment able to retain possession in the midfield. Once again, it's Westerdale that gives that one away. Watt send it forward for Waldo. And this will just be shielded across the sideline by Jared Gore with the skipper's armband for Holland Park this afternoon, in place of the FQPL leading goal scorer Marek Medell, who sits on the bench. If you missed it, suffered an injury, a groin strain in the midweek loss to Mitchelton. Just not willing to risk further injury today. McMillan hassles hard. Ipswich Knights hassle harder. To Shager. Marcanato on his bite. Will it be too far? Delivers the cross in there, and it ripples the net, but on the outside of its side netting. So midway through this first half, still no score at Eric Evans Oval on our Football Queensland live stream of the FQPL from round 15. So what did all those results from last night mean? It meant that Peninsula extended their league out in top of the table out to 14 points with 10 games remaining for them. Shigeyuki with the skills. McGahey. And an easy collect for Parsons. So you'd have to say, barring some sort of major catastrophe or the earth ending or something ridiculous like that, Peninsula definitely have one of the promotion spots. There's claims of exclamation from the Holland Park technical area about that decision given by Dan Olsen. It's Logan Lightning that move up into second, ahead of Rochedale, both equal on 26 points. Logan still have a game in hand, a catch-up game in hand. And goal difference well and truly going Logan's way. Those goals that Rochedale have conceded might hurt them come to the end of the year in search of that second promotion spot. And what a game that promises to be next Saturday afternoon down at Underwood Park. Second place Logan up against third place Rochedale Rovers. Both sides having complaints to the referee. A midweek win and a heavy win last night for Mitchelton. And they're sitting in fourth now after that slow start to the season. 3 points behind Logan and Rochedale, but Mitchelton too still do have a catch-up game in hand, so they're well and truly in the race. Eastern Suburbs in fifth on 22. Sunshine Coast Wanderers on 20. From there, South United on 19, Capella on 17, Holland Park on 17 on the live ladder. Wolves on 16, Southside Eagles 13, Ipswich Knights 8, and Wide Bay Buccaneers yet to trouble the table. So you'd have to say, really, it's probably a race in 6 or 7 trying to play for second. Capella in 8th on 17 points, 9 points adrift of second place Logan. Might just be a stretch too far for them, and South United too starting to lose contact with the pack. So it promises to be an exciting second half of the season in the FQPL. Still plenty to play for. McMillan. There's Anderson, and the free kick will come the Hawks' way. Oh, and Parsons must have a second grab at it. Shigeyuki. Hastings. Cut out by Bond and had to get it away quickly. Waldo. Rule. Watts. Waldo again. This is Garcia. White. Maclot. Ricardo making the run forward. Short at the edge of the area. Slides across Westerdale. Gahi sends it in search of Shigeyuki, who couldn't control it. Parsons checking on the stats for you. Possession pretty even. Ipswich Knights way, 52-48. 2 shots at goal for the Knights and 4 shots at goal for the Hawks. But in reality, there's been nothing that's really troubled either keeper. Park player just receiving some attention. Getting back to his feet is Flynn McGahey, I think you'll find. Joe Fennick just delivering some instructions. In fact, it's Chris Anderson who'll now be asked to, who's going to be asked to retire to the sideline after receiving treatment. It looks like he is too. So Holland Park will be defending a man down for the moment. Back on the park, Anderson. Here's Westerdale. McGahey. Corner here for the Hawks. No, he doesn't cross the goal line. Looked like it was going to. Gore. Must win was the call, and that's what he did. He comes up against Waldo now. What? Free kick will go the Knights' way against Sam Watt, the leading contributor for Ipswich Knights in terms of goals scored this year with 3. Last time they met these two sides, it was a convincing 5-1 victory for Holland Park over the Ipswich Knights. Marek Medell scored a hat-trick that day. The other contributors were Takuya Shigeyuki and Will Hyun Park. Was there a free kick given up? There was by Shigeyuki on Maclot, who's just working out that slight knock he's received. Had of apologies from the Japanese player. Gone past the half-hour mark. Still no score at Eric Evans Oval in this round 15 FQPL clash. Here's Waldo, perhaps he can change that equation. The flag will go up for offside. So even though the ball ends up in the back of the net, the flag is up for a couple of phases before that. So Ipswich Knights denied an opener by the assistant's flag. Didn't result in a goal. It was a well-worked play from Ipswich Knights in stretching the Holland Park defence. All came to naught though. We were about 4 weeks ago for an FQPL live stream game. That was Ipswich Knights versus Wolves, and hang on, here's Marcanato trying to chip the keeper, which he was successful in doing so, but got the direction all wrong. In fact, it's taken a touch. Short must have got a hand to it. Just blindsided by it. It was a bright sunny day when we were here 4 weeks ago. Overcast today, and that's meant the crowd has mainly retreated to the grandstand to our left. Not too many out on the clubhouse terrace today. A few loyal Ipswich Knights supporters having a drink or two and looking on at their side in this round 15 encounter. Here comes the corner, punched away by Short. Ipswich Knights will probably start taking a bit of confidence out of this last 2 or 3 minutes in terms of their attack. Coach McMatthews saying through the week that, you know, there's been plenty of player movement, but within a month he thinks that he'll have the squad playing like we want and how we want. Matthews coming in around about Easter time to take charge of Ipswich Knights after the departure of the previous coach, Danny McHenry. Here's Real Cam. Blast one from long distance. Getting down to the left was Short. Didn't have to move much, really. White. Maclock. Bond. Turnover of possession. You can hear the frustration in the effects, Mike. Shigeyuki back for Hastings, who blasts it from the halfway line towards Parsons. To Shager. Waldo. Tripped up on his way through by Elliot White. Sam Watt pleading the case of why a yellow card wasn't brandished. He'll be asked to take it again after moving the spot. Advanced 5 yards. Rule. Once again, a turnover possession at the edge of the attacking third. White finds Westerdale. Westerdale tries to turn in towards goal. 3 Ipswich Knights shirts convert on him. White. Garcia for the Knights. Macanato is brought down. Under 10 minutes to the half-time break. Ipswich Knights with the better opportunity in terms of trying to score a goal, but unable to find a way past the Holland Park keeper, Duncan Short. Still remain scoreless here at Eric Evans Oval. Maclock was coming short for the free kick. Too much threat there from a Holland Park player tracking his progress through. What? Low. And wide of the target. Short takes the goal kick quickly. Westerdale gets there before it can cross the sideline. White. from McGahey. Switch of play for Anderson. One goal for Chris Henderson for the Hawks this year. Good battle. One part play looked like he got the better of it, McMillan, before being dispossessed. Bond up against Westerdale. That one keenly contested before Bond sends it back to his keeper in Parsons. Once again, holding up in that wind. Macklot dragged by Westerdale. Almost in slow motion at the moment. Once again, Parsons gets involved. You can probably just hear that wind whipping up in the effects mic. Pushed off the ball. It looked pretty blatant from back here, the push on Shigeyuki. Which Knights player got away with it, but only to give possession back to the Hawks. It's a hefty shove on Shigeyuki. The ball was Gore above Marcanato. Westerdale. Park back for Gore. Westerdale. Shigeyuki. That almost hit my car behind the goals. Glazed over the bar by the Japanese player. Shape to go short. Looks like he's going to go forward from the goal kick, or long from the goal kick. Westerdale. Can they link up the Holland Park Hawks? Park. McGahey. Playing it on was former Ipswich Knights man, White. Westerdale and Shigeyuki. Park. Anderson shapes up from long distance. Once again, it's wide of the target. 3.5 to play in this first half. A match that, in reality, hasn't risen to any great heights so far. Perhaps the respective coaches will provide some wisdom and make the corrections required for the second half, but maybe Westerdale can find a goal here for the Hawks before the half-time break. It slides past his teammate in Hastings, but they'll earn themselves a corner, the visitors. Corner comes in. Shot comes, and it's narrowly over the bar by McMillan. Parsons had the arms upstretched in coverage. number 6s go at it. Ipswich Knights to Shager and White for the Hawks. It's to Shager again. Waldo just holds up as an option. Stepped on the ball. There's Lincoln Rule. Free kick. Going the Knights' way. Couldn't connect with Bond. Hastings playing up front in the place of Marek Riddell this afternoon. He scored a goal this year, Mikhail Hastings. Referee allows the play to continue. Slips past Shiyuki, but he's able to recover and retrieve the ball. Hastings again, Westerdale. And it's another corner for Holland Park, 60 seconds before the half-time break. Corner lofted high towards the back post, evades even the tall Jared Gore. Shigeyuki again into the creek behind the left-hand goal. Brought down by Bond. Bond again. Westerdale at close quarters. To Shager. Maclot. Switch Knights. Switch a play back out onto the left where James was in a bit of room. And it'll be a corner right on the stroke of half time here for the Ipswich Knights. Perhaps the final play for this first half. We've ticked over into stoppage time, just the one injury. Here comes the corner from Waldo, defended by Anderson. Chasing it was James. And a goal kick for the Hawks. Dan Olsen brings an end to proceedings. The scoreboard attendant hasn't been troubled in the first half of this round 15 FQPL clash from Eric Evans Oval. Both sides trudge off to the sheds. We're going to take a break as well. It's Ipswich Knights 0, Holland Park Hawks 0 in this round 15 FQPL clash.
Getting in attacking position. This is Walker. Through ball. And it's in the back of the net! Ali Schaefer opens the scoring.
swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
Football is my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Caltex Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini Roos kick-off program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all,
we make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the Aldi Mini Roos ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson. He's a legend.
And Steph Catley from the Westfield Matildas. She is amazing.
Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
I could watch them all day. Even though here, you don't feel like you need to. These are the moments I'll remember. You see, to me, it's not so much just having us all together, but finding a place that really brings us together. That's what makes Oaks Oasis special. When you only get a few chances, it's important to make them count. After all, memories don't make themselves.
We did great today. Getting the attacking position. This is Walker. Through ball. And it's in the back of the net. Ali Schaefer opens the scoring.
Football is my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Caltex Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini Roos kick-off program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all, we make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the LD Miniroos ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson. He's a legend. And Steph Natley from the Westfield Matildas. She is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
So the two teams coming back out onto Eric Evans Oval for their second half, 0-0 between Ipswich Knights and Holland Park Hawks. And of course we couldn't do it without sponsors, and Ipswich Knights would like to thank the support of Dial Before You Dig and DGS Property Improvement. For Holland Park, they're thankful of the support from the Carina Leagues Club and Gree Air Conditioners. So, now to get back underway in this round 15 FQPL clash. Neither team really dominant over the other in the first half. The scoreboard reflective of how that 45 minutes of football did play out. Officials taking up their positions on the respective bench. We'll get underway once more and try to determine a winner in this second 45 minutes. We're underway, second half, FQPL round 15. The Knights against the Hawks. Westerdale there for the Hawks. They retreat all the way back to Duncan Short in goal. He lost the clearance high to his teammate. Magahi on that far side. Waldo for the Knights. Some emergency vehicle flashing past complex to our right on Brisbane Road. Turn from Hastings. He's got McMillan steaming through. Comes up against Baker. Hastings will be the thrower, shaping up for a long throw towards his fellow attackers in the box. Gore with the target, coming up from the back line, trying to win the ball off Rule. Waldo for the Knights. Maclots. Free kick will go the host way. The Ipswich Knights number 11 in Hayden James. Instead it was the Holland Park on number 11 intercepting McMillan, and he now has earned a free kick for his side. Some words being exchanged between McMillan and Nathan Garcia. Shigeyuki it will be. A couple of hits towards the end of that first half that weren't entirely flattering. See what Shigeyuki can do off the left foot this time. Closer than those efforts in the first half, but still high over the crossbar, and Parsons didn't have to get a touch to it. Westerdale. Infield for Park. Hastings attempted to tee up Shigeyuki. This is Watt. Back for James. Down the line for Tashega. Watt. Hustled by Shigeyuki. Japanese can't get the ball back. His teammate in white can though. Waldo has possession back for the Knights once more. Bond. And the shot blocked. Marcanado's shot, and the Holland Park player just leaning over after that challenge with Marcanato. Just keep an eye on that Holland Park player, Dan Olsen, the referee. Over to check on Josh Byrne, is it? Byrne just holding a bit in the back play. There's certainly plenty of tall timber there for Holland Park in the two central defender positions with Josh Byrne and Jared Gore. Very tall back line indeed for the Hawks. Away by Byrne and by McMillan. James. Trying to get around Park. Cuts back for Watt. He's got Backlot there in company. Marcanato. James. Flag up for offside. Hands on hips from James, Hayden James, in amazement of the assistant on the far side daring to make that call. Here's Short's free kick. Nodded on by Tashega. McMillan. Ball won fairly by Robbie Baker. McMillan was starting to make a run towards goal. Garcia. As I said before, second game for the Ipswich Knights after making the switch from Holland Park Hawks. Shager touches it back for Watt. 1-2 combination between those two players. Backlot. Bond. High ball towards the edge of the box. It just evades Tashega. Chase is hard to try and earn the ball back for his side though. James. Sun just beginning to poke out a little here at Eric Evans Oval in the late afternoon. It's been a cloudy day in Brisbane and the surrounds, but it's cleared up in the last hour or so since kickoff. Blue skies on the other side of the park and beyond. Once again, the two number 11s go at it. Shager. Waldo. Maclot. Goes down after the pass. Bond. Makes a dart into the box. Down the line for the Hawks and Shigeyuki. Turning to tempt around Maclot. Decision will go the Knights' way. Rule. Now it's Waldo. No one there for the Knights. An errant cross. Mr. Backtracks to get the ball at his feet. Once again, the reliable Lincoln Rule in the centre of defence for the Knights. Plenty of experience for the Ipswich Knights skipper, including in the NPL with the Western Pride. Tugged on the shoulder by Park, goes unnoticed by the referee. Maclot on the halfway line. Watt. And Park gets one back. Free kick played by Rule. Bond on that far side for the Knights. Which Knights probably come out the more likely in this second half to try and attempt to break this deadlock. Looks like we're about to make a change here for the Knights. Coming on in 15, it'll be Matt Drummond. He'll replace Yali Tashega. First change of the afternoon for either side. Matt Drummond, the man to look at now in jersey 15. Advance their way towards the area. Might have been a pre-planned move from Ipswich Knights. Nick Matthews came right on the 10-minute mark of this second half. Perhaps it had already been discussed in the dressing room at half-time. Shager. Maybe some time in the second half to see whether he can make an influence. Pressure coming in from Park against the Ipswich keeper in Parsons. Anderson. Hastings. Looks to have moved a little more forward. Perhaps he and Hastings look like they may have switched between midfield and all-out attack. Here's Hastings. McMillan to try and then get it onto the left foot. Weak shot in the end from outside the area, and Joe Fennick has literally thrown the cap on the ground. Not happy. There's Sean McMillan saying, don't go yourself that time round. I wanted another pass in towards the area. Perhaps it was a better option. Not the first time I've seen Joe throw a cap in disgust on the field. Looking quite animated over there on the Holland Park Hawks bench at the moment. Bit of dust crops up after that pass from Watt. Meanwhile, at the other end here for Holland Park, and again it's a defensive effort from the Ipswich Knights skipper in Lincoln Rule. Set up an attack for his team, and the substitute Drummond, as he brought down. Did the Holland Park player pick up that ball and put it down like it was a free kick? Might be my eyes, I might need some new glasses. Ipswich Knights support team might be in agreement with me though. I think Roger Hunter's involved in the banter on the far side between the Ipswich Knights coaching team. Hasn't been the best on the pitch, but the exchanges off the pitch on that far side look like they might be worth the admission price, if there was one. Quarter of an hour into the second half. 60 minutes of football completed. Still no score at Eric Evans Oval in this round 15 FQPL clash. Ipswich Knights calling out for a foul throw. You don't see that too often in senior football. Muldoon sticking over at the inopportune moment was Marcinado. Two number 11s battle for the ball. Baker, James will have the free kick. Free kick played short for Baker. The sun now in full effect, throwing its rays over Eric Evans Oval. Westerdale. Can't see any movement on the Holland Park bench, so Joe Fennick content for now with the 11 he's got on the park. Park has a corner for his side. Saw the Ipswich Knights involved in a little draw in our live stream about 6 weeks or so ago it was, up on the Sunshine Coast against the Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Ballinger Park, Budrum. Drifted in. Oh, brought down by Gore. Can they clear away? Rebound could have almost fell everywhere there after James's attempted clearance. Foot race between Marcinado of the Knights and White of Holland Park. Two former teammates have a bit of push and a bump. Referee Dan Olsen has blown the whistle. Free kick to Ipswich Knights. Hard up against this western touchline. So here comes a free kick. In by James. Forward in search of Park was the pass from McMillan. Draws the keeper off his line. Shigeyuki is going to try and test the keeper, who was waiting at the edge of the area and got enough on it to stop the shot from Shigeyuki. So almost an open net for Holland Park to blaze into. Westerdale will pile on the pressure. And he's been fouled outside the box. Free kick in a dangerous situation here for Holland Park. 20 minutes into the second half. Perhaps we might see this deadlock broken from this dead ball opportunity. There's an indirect, it's inside the box. Can't be direct because it's inside the box. So wall retreat, we'll just check what Dan Olsen's signal will be here. Sure, he's going to stick the hand up to indicate it's indirect. Shigeyuki looks like he'll play the touch off Hastings. Well, no indication it's in an indirect freak. Yes, it is. There he is. He finally sticks up the hand. So it's indirect. It must take a touch before another player can take it and score. And it's pretty timid effort from Hastings in the end. It causes Parsons no issues. Shigeyuki with a couple of balks to try and catch out the wall. Here come the Hawks once more. Hastings shot blocked. Watt. Westerdale. Whistle by Marcanato. And the two young stages go at it. Don't know if you picked that up on the effects, Mike, but a good exchange between Westerdale and James, I think it was, who was chiming in with the witty comment. Making a reference to Carlton Westerdale's hair, these flowing locks. Hastings. There's the blonde with the flowing locks, McMillan. Gets towards the byline and a corner on the far side for the Hawks, who look to be readying a change, and they'll make that change now before this corner is taken. Man coming off, is it? It is, it's Hyun Park. He'll be withdrawn. Pick up the number of the player coming onto the park, who'll immediately make his way into the area to try and steer this corner into the back of the net. It's number 9, Matt Farrington, who's come onto the park for the Hawks. He's going to stand right in front of the keeper. He gets up high, Parsons. Manages to get enough on it to stop any attack from Holland Park. Sides now made one change apiece midway through this second half. Still 0-0 at Eric Evans Oval. Newly introduced Farrington trying to insert his influence for Holland Park. Play goes up. Oh, there's been some afters. Marcanato involved. Assuming the flag's gone up for offside against Marcanato on the far side. Rolling the arm over his Byrne, who's been in the wars in this second half. free kick beamed long. Rising high. In front of Macklot was McGahey for Holland Park. Throw it into the box, a familiar tactic from the Hawks, and we're all just content to nod it away over the fence. Holland Park corner on the eastern side of the field. That corner for the Hawks. Score waiting at the far post. Just remembered we've got FFA Cup action for you during the week. Of course, we saw Lions progressing that epic round 6 tie on Wednesday night in a penalty shootout win against Roachdale Rovers. So Lions through to round 7, where they will host the winner of Tuesday night's match between Peninsula Power and the Brisbane Strikers, the FQPL versus the NPL. Join me from AJ Kelly Park Tuesday night, 7:30, for that all-important round 6 FFA Cup tie. Going to extra time, no impediment last night for Lions against the Strikers, recording a 1-0 win in the NPL. And then Wednesday night, more FFA Cup action from round 6. Simon Smale will be taking you through the all-NPL encounter from Walter Park between Moreton Bay United and Olympic. Both those sides recording a win in the NPL last night. Of course, it was Moreton Bay that knocked Olympic out of the Cup last year in round 7. So the Yeronga Bay side will be keen for some revenge. So the magic of the Cup midweek, both games at 7:30 on Tuesday, Peninsula versus Brisbane Strikers, and Wednesday, Moreton Bay versus Olympic, both on the Football Queensland Facebook page, live streamed. Heavily harassed Marcanato against White. Referee Dan Olsen just issuing a warning to Marcanato, saying that's twice now. It's the rump of Robbie Baker. Corner here for the Hawks. Shikiyuki over to take it. Shikiyuki delivers the corner. Held on by Gore. Hastings. Once again, the shot blocked. Deflected out for another corner. This time on the opposite side of the park, but Hastings will go across and take. Well, whipped in from the opposite side, nodded on by Anderson. Westerdale has broken the deadlock. 28 minutes into the second half. And finally there's a goal in this game. Holland Park have been able to strike from the dead ball opportunity. And it's Carlton Westerdale. He's able to make the best inside the box, and Holland Park have the lead. Knights. 17 minutes, 16 minutes now plus stoppage time to try and fight their way back into this dead one. Into this one. What I was trying to say is try and break this winless streak they've had since the 18th of February. Aldo trying his best. Short ball arrives at him before Marconato can get a play on it. Big battle here between the substitute Farrington and Hayden James. Someone was tripped up, Waldo was. And does a couple of push-ups. Number 9's going at Watt and Farrington. Shigeyuki across the face of goal. Steered wide to the right hand upright. Substitutes warming up for the Knights on the far touchline. 15 minutes remaining. Good touch from Anderson. In order to dispossess Hayden James. Shigeyuki.
Help him!
Plays of handball. Falling on the deaf ears of referee Dan Olsen. Here's the skipper Gore. Hastings, man on. He had to react quickly. Looked like he might have been offside there, McMillan, but assistant chose to keep his flag down. Throwing comes down the line for McMillan. Throws the cross in. Ipswich Knights players didn't realise he was there. Held by Parsons. Going himself is Anderson. McMillan looping run around from Anderson. What with the tackle? Kept in. Yes, it was. Waldo hassles Hastings out of it, but then Anderson earns the ball back. Quick 1-2 between the substitute Farrington and McMillan. Strong in by Gore. Rule. Bond is allowed to continue on his run. Holland Park defenders unable to intervene. Gets the shot away in the end. Not on target, however. Waldo and Farrington. Parsons brought into the process. Ball cut that one out. Steers it wider on the left. And McGahey was waiting. Farrington. Inside his area was Parsons, who had to be accurate. McMillan steaming through. Hastings for Westerdale. Lone goal scorer so far in this game. Westerdale makes a run into the box. Plays it back. Right into the back of the Ipswich Knights defender, Shigeyuki. Anderson. On the ground for Shigeyuki. Shigeyuki gets the ball back. He's offside though, and that one will be chalked off. So Ipswich Knights had the similar situation in the first half where they had a goal chalked off for offside at that end. It's one apiece in terms of intervention from the assistant referee on this side, disallowing goals. Plus stoppages remaining. Anderson chested on. This time he's beaten the offside call from the assistant. Easy as you like. Sean McMillan scores on 80 minutes. And Holland Park looks set now for their 6th win of the season. That would lift Holland Park a place on the table into 8th spot as Ipswich Knights have made a substitution after the scoring of that goal. The home Waldo has been replaced, and coming on in jersey 14 is Murray Thistlethwaite. Second change of the afternoon for the Knights, and now backs to the wall, trying to claw back this 2-goal advantage that the Hawks now have. It's been a problem for the lot of the year. Ipswich Knights unable to play out a full 90 minutes. Good for around about 70 to 75, but a young side that need to learn how to play out a 90-minute game. Watt. Fighting hard for his side despite the scoreline. Too hard in pushing the back on Shigeyuki. There's the aforementioned Shigeyuki. Away by the Hawks. Those two number 11s have been going at it all day. James is down on his back. Does he land awkwardly? He's off the field of play. Referee over for a chat with Sean McMillan. Touching at the back of his head is Hayden James. So Carlton Westerdale with his 3rd goal in 5 appearances since his shift from Redlands to the Holland Park Hawks, the goal scorer in the 73rd minute. And Sean McMillan with his first goal of 2018 for Holland Park. That's how we get to Holland Park 2 with Ipswich Knights 0 with just over 5 minutes plus stoppages remaining. As the sun begins to set behind the trees and another train pulls into Bundamba Station. On the Ipswich line to our left. Marcanato chasing it down is Drummond. Square for Watt. Straight to the feet of Byrne. Shigeyuki. Haven't needed Marek Medell this afternoon, the Hawks. Standing in the Holland Park technical area. Watching on these final stages of this match. Next we'll be hoping that the leading scorer in the FQPL good enough to get through that slight groin strain that he picked up on Wednesday night in order to return next week for the Hawks. 23 goals, of course, for Marek Medell this year in the FQPL. Saying that he enjoyed his experience this week down training with the Central Coast Mariners a couple of weeks ago. Thrived in the environment, enjoyed the week. Certainly felt that the skill levels of players in the NPL and FQPL to a similar standard of the A-League. It's just that step up that you've got to make to professional full-time football in training 4-5 times a week. Which Knights can find some late consolation and bring some added spice into this final period of this game. Well, once again a strong win, and he's been fouled. Referee's looking for the advantage. It didn't come. Substitution to be made for Holland Park. I think it'll be McMillan that will be withdrawn. No, that change won't be made just yet. Waved off by Joe Fennick, so the assistant referee who made the 70-yard sprint for the substitution, sprints all the way back now to adjudicate on any potential offside from this free kick to be taken by Hayden James for the Ipswich Knights. Effectively Matclot now take it, 4 in the wall for the Hawks. Here's Matclot's free kick, it goes between the wall and short with the save. Danger there for the Hawks with the ball managing to squeeze between the wall. 2 minutes plus stoppages remaining. In comes the corner, batted away by Short. It'll be a corner once again here for the Knights on the opposite side of the park. The corner defended by the Hawks. Now potentially off to the races is McGahey. Good sliding challenge from James. Anderson arrives on the scene. McGahey. And along the ground. And the substitute. Farrington. Shigeyuki. It's time for Holland Park to find a third goal. Westerdale already has one. He won't have a second that time round, and now that substitution will be made. There's going to be one for both sides. Player down on his back for Holland Park. So the Ipswich Knights substitute to be Giuliano Marcanato, making his exit to be replaced by number 12, Leon Nunda. Physio on for Holland Park. Shigeyuki just going to the sideline. He won't be the one being replaced. Looks like it's McMillan that'll go off. And the man coming on for the Hawks. Once I can spot his number. Looks like it's Josh de Groot in jersey 4. Making his debut in the senior side today from the under 18 Holland Park Hawks squad. Joe Finnick, a firm believer in youth. So we've had 60 seconds of stoppage time completed. Can't imagine us having that much. Nunda, the substitute, who's recently arrived on the park for the Knights. James. On park withstand that foray from the Knights. Nunda. Is it taking a deflection on the way through? It won't matter because Short will scoop it up. No pressure here on Short. Play the ball out. Nunda. Drifts over the head of the substitute Drummond. Throws the head back. Good cross delivered in, just too high for the reasonably diminutive Matt Drummond. Nunda in the attacking half for the Knights. Free kick decision will go the Knights' way. Still a chance here of a consolation. 3.5 minutes of stoppage time completed, however. Here comes the free kick, and it has ended up in the back of the net. So there will be some late consolation. Looks like it's come direct from David Macklot in the 4th minute of stoppage time. Which Knights players bring it back to the centre circle immediately. Holland Park in no rush, as you'd expect, for a restart. And it's Holland Park. I thought they were making a change. They're not. Just going to send it down into that corner because possession and territory good down that end of the park for Holland Park in terms of escaping a second goal, which won't come to be. A scoreless first half here at Eric Evans Oval before the deadlock was broken on 73 minutes by Carlton Westerdale. That was added to with 10 minutes remaining by Sean McMillan. But that late free kick from David Macklot in the 4th minute of stoppage time provided some late consolation for the Ipswich Knights. And it's Holland Park, though, who have recorded their 6th win of the season in this round 15 FQPL clash. It's Holland Park 2 defeated Ipswich Knights 1. Just a reminder, FFA Cup action during the week. Tuesday night, Peninsula versus Brisbane Strikers. Wednesday, Moreton Bay versus Olympic. Both those kick-offs at 7:30. Both live streamed on the Football Queensland Facebook page. But from Eric Evans Oval, it's time to say goodbye. And on behalf of all the team, it's Rafe Griffin wishing you a very good afternoon. And Holland Park have defeated Ipswich Knights by 2-1.